If you are in a relationship right now, stay in your relationship. The dating market is exactly like the job market. Nobody is leaving their job because nobody is hiring. Do not leave your relationship. I've been single for literally an entire year and I'm aggressively dating. I'm on Tinder, I'm on Hinge, I'm on Bumble, I'm on Match, I'm on Seeking. I just paid $150 for a speed dating event, aggressively dating, and I'm still single. It is cold and it is lonely out here and there are not enough men. So if you are in a relationship, stay exactly where you are. Don't come out of the house. Work it out. Fix it. Whatever it is.
When you leave selection up to women, they typically screen for the traits that aren't good for their long-term security.
Yeah.
For example, girls, when they're hot and have the high market value, they typically want the bad boy. The bad boy, however, is not going to be a good long-term partner. Bad boy comes in, has her, uses her, creates emotional trauma, leaves her worse off than when you met her.
Yeah.
She goes and meets another bad boy. This happens again and again and again.
Scammer, drug dealer.
Exactly. It's not until she's lost a significant amount of her value at 30 years old plus that she wakes up and realizes, I need to find a guy that I can consolidate on that actually has some kind of security. But by then, her value's dropped off so precipitously that any guy that, has value is not going to want to go ahead and do this exchange because this exchange puts him at a negative area. So that's where women end up in this weird catch-22 situation where they're not able to get the man that they want anymore. And that, my friends, is the life of a modern woman a lot of the times. Cooked.
And the guy that would have been good for her, the lame in the square, ends up being last choice after they've been ran through.
The three major Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all practice arranged marriages to some degree. Why is that? Because they knew, and even other cultures, they knew that arranged marriages are the way to keep your daughter her own life up.
Stop! You gotta go!
I don't like her.
I'm not.
Hey,
You're in a way.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking. You're gorgeous. I'm just telling you, you're gorgeous.
You gotta leave.
Girls swear that they want men to approach, and then they act like this. Sometimes they are the ones keeping themselves and everyone around them single. Literally nobody wants to deal with energy like that. And look, guys aren't perfect. Clearly this was not the best time, but if it was another dude who's tired of dating apps and tired of feeling lonely, finally worked up the courage to put himself out there, and this is the kind of reaction he got, that is probably his first and last time ever doing that. And the funny part is, I wasn't even talking to her. I was trying to compliment her friend in the back, and she jumps in, starts screaming and making a scene. Classic fridge protecting the snacks. So yeah, you can keep talking about why don't men approach us anymore? But when you act like this, you create the exact reality that you complain about. So when you're sitting in your 30s and thinking, where have all the good men gone? Rewind this clip and you'll have your answer.
When you project all women,
Right.
the average height for a woman is 5'4". The
Okay.
average weight is about 170.
What?
Y'all Google it out there and see if I'm lying.
You know what the funny thing is too, Unc?
What's that?
Hey, Joe, 5'4" and 170. If it's proportionate to and
Boy,
everything
boy, you
in the
got
right
hell on your
areas,
hands.
boy, who you telling, boy? Oh
Ooh-wee.
my God.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, I told you, baby, I told you what to pull. Better what to pull that pistol on your boy.
Yeah.
Smooth like this.
Stop playing.
Not a dimple, not a pimple, not a wrinkle, not a crease, not a divot, nothing.
Oh man.
Bounce quarters off a booty. Hey, what Google say?
Average height 5'3" to 5'4". Average weight 168 to 171 pounds. Yeah, he was right.
Now, you get you one that's athletic. Lord have mercy.
Don't forget to check the ankles now.
When
check
I'm
the
saying
ankles.
ankles, they eye level. They ain't look to the right to see them, Ocho. I'm just saying, you talking about check the ankle? That must be what you talking about. These women today, they ain't not built like these women like when we were coming up, Ocho.
You hear me?
Yeah,
You hear me?
Yeah, it's different.
The teachers, these teachers. Man, our teacher was 70 years old when I was in third grade.
You see some of these teachers now, boy.
What?
Hey.
Hey, Joe, I wouldn't have missed one class, Joe.
You would be one of the women in the UK who would be defending the gang.
Go ahead and say something
That
else
would be
negative.
you.
look really good right now. You try to project
Oh,
me
thanks.
as a crazy person. You're actually
that's
projecting.
you.
What is she actually doing that's crazy?
Yeah.
It's her superiority complex.
Oh.
She has a really big one. She puts herself on a pedestal.
Do
I mean, demon
Absolutely.
exorcism.
Because
Shouldn't
I don't
empowered
say-
women do that?
Yeah, don't you want me to be empowered?
Shouldn't empowered women
mean,
put themselves on a pedestal?
Empowered
I
and
came
not
in
me.
here with good vibes,
I
and
didn't
then
say that.
I mean, as soon as you started putting me down, I totally changed my perspective.
So you
feelings
should be
towards you.
empowered, but not me.
When I came in here, I had good feelings.
That's because I'm
towards you.
challenging your and I'm proving and demonstrating to the whole world
and
that
I'm
it's bullshit.
challenging your.
What?
Jesus wants to be left alone. Do you know that?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to look at you in the eyes and
told
tell
me
you,
more.
Jesus really wants everyone to leave him alone. My subconscious, I did that hypnosis session and I received inspiration.
A demon.
Yes.
Hypnosis is actually like backed.
You think Jesus and the husband are talking to her and that I'm the one who's irrational?
You guys.
Fellas, I'm sick of it. Let me tell y'all something. You cannot make these women happy at all. Because if you don't got a job, she gonna leave you. If you got a job and you work too much, she gonna leave you. If you don't have nothing, she's gonna leave you. If you try to build something, she's gonna leave you. Women are only with men because of the convenience or maybe even the idea of having a man. Okay? Women, they don't want to sacrifice nothing. They don't want no responsibility for nothing. They don't want to go 60-40. They don't want to go 40-60. They don't want to go 50-50. They don't want to do nothing. All they want is the benefit of a kink. But they do not want to have the patience and do what it takes to help him build the kingdom. So this is where you need to wake up. You need to realize what type of women that you're dealing with and go get you a woman that believes in your dream, in your kingdom, and that's willing to go 50-50 with you, 60-40 with you. Oh, baby, I ain't doing this. Oh, baby, I ain't doing that. Get rid of her. If she can't do that, get rid of her. I don't care how her mom and daddy made her fine. Get rid of her.
A lot of women seem to be upset about the soft guy era, but let me tell y'all why it don't make sense at all. Because a lot of these same women want to live a soft life they themselves at the expense of a man. Ain't no problem with that, but if a man can provide you with a soft life, chances are he already living it and he just inviting you into his world. So it don't matter if y'all don't like it. It is what it is. But on top of that, you asking for something that you don't want to give. Y'all don't think y'all coming off as selfish? The man don't even really want this. But just to see how y'all act and see who y'all really are, that's the point. So it's weird when y'all act like the goal is to be family, but y'all really debating if you should treat a man the same way you want to be treated. It shouldn't even be a debate. Matter of fact, when women actually care about a man, they do all of these things, which is why y'all complain about broke men. A lot of y'all have done this before and still do it for men who just don't value you, so the energy is not reciprocated. But this is what's happening out here. Women and men out here choosing based off of money and looks that can fade a minute from now. What happens to your relationship? It fade right along with it. Anybody who got any type of sense, they not even gonna waste their time with you. So that's what's happening out here. The same way a lot of women think that men don't like women, a lot of women don't like men, but they brainwash into believing that men are supposed to pay for everything. So this is the only reason they really want to with you most of the time. They think that the key to their soft life is you, but they don't really want you, which is why they don't want to hold up their end of the deal, which is why they don't want to treat you the way they want to be treated by you. It just don't make sense to me, but whatever. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
There's a crisis of femininity at the moment. Do you think that women are struggling for good role models right now?
I can't tell you there's a single woman that I've ever watched growing up and thought, I want to be like her. That's not because there's anything wrong with the women out there. Maybe it's my values don't connect with current environment. But what I would love to see is how we can embrace every part of being a woman. I just love being different to a man. I have no desire for complete equality with a man. It just doesn't make me feel good knowing that I can do everything a man can do, because I'd rather you complete the areas of my life where I'm deficient and I complete areas of your life where you're deficient.
Speak to the women who walk around with their chest puffed out shouting how they don't need a man.
They ain't masculine, and that's why they don't have no good man. And because they think they want a masculine man, but what they really need is a feminine man, and they really need to get rid of all that ego and come back to earth and realize that, you know, show me one beautiful, striking person and I'll show you another one who's sick and tired of them. As the saying goes, come back to earth. You know, some people just really be out here living in Delulu land. Like, you really aren't as dope as you think you are. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I really feel like the biggest lie that women tell themselves is that they have all of these options, but they don't. Social media is like really destroying women for real.
Does size matter?
No, it's how you use it.
How you use it?
Let's go.
Really? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the ideal size? What's ideal? Like,
I'm a nice girl.
I don't have a measuring tape out, so never do.
you mean like full microphone, half a mic?
Half a mic.
A little bit. About there? Okay, that's workable. What about 5.5?
Depends.
This is where I belong.
And there was a woman saying, you know, if you're in a relationship, stay in that relationship. You know, there's nobody, quote unquote, hiring in the dating market. You can't tell modern women that. They think that regardless of what the dating market is, they're unique, they're special. They just can't be turned away. They can't. And so therefore, if that's the case, there's going to be a man out there somewhere, a rich man at that, that's going to take them in. There's going to be a rich man that's going to be there to save them from all of this turmoil. Delusional.
I tell guys, when you go approach a woman just because she's hot, you've made her the alpha. She's the decider now. And remember, she's got lots of men approaching her. She's the decider. You're not. You've made her the alpha, you're the beta. You know, all these red pill and pickup guys all think, I'm alpha. No, you're chasing her because you want her approval. You want her to say yes. You've just given her all the power. But what if you don't need that? What if you're just living this good life and then all these doors open around you and you notice women, you know, smiling at you, you know, walking in front of you a couple extra times unnecessarily, you know, bending over when they put the plate on the table. What if you just start noticing all the doors that are open? Now this is, you know, dating, but this is life. You can go pound on closed doors all day long. That's a lot of work. I'm a big fan of walking through open doors. Choose a woman who chooses you.
If a man leaves after you've cheated, he clearly wasn't a real man. Real men would work through it and help you become a better woman. They accept you with all of your flaws. Are you kidding me? Where's the accountability? If you cheat, you deserve to be dumped. If you're going to cheat, you shouldn't be in a relationship. That's a character flaw. And a man is not responsible for making you a better woman. You're responsible for making yourself a better woman. You're responsible for putting in the work. Plus, you hurt him, not the other way around. You don't get a free pass to just stay with him. Because the reality is most cheaters, they don't just cheat once, they keep doing it long term. And that's unacceptable. Take some accountability.
ABC, The Bachelorette, and mainstream media. They thought it was a good idea to have a single mother of 3 in her 30s be the prized possession that multiple men fight for the love for. A single mother that practiced against her husband. This is the programming that they're preaching to America today. This is the prized possession that all young men should be going after. A single mom in her 30s that beats on her husband. And you wonder why other countries are laughing at us. This doesn't fly anywhere else in the world, so all of them.
I don't think men leave happy homes. I think they leave once that respect is gone. I have been divorced for 8 years. I was with my ex-husband for a total of 10 years and we have a child together. And these are some of the things that I have learned along the way. And no, it did not come overnight, but ladies, listen up. If you want true loyalty from a man, ladies, you have got to stop making your husband or significant other the punchline for your social media likes and the gossip ring for your girlfriends. And don't forget, respect is like oxygen for a man. You take it away long enough and I'm gonna tell you what, honey, he is gonna suffocate. And men don't just wake up one day and just decide to leave. Men leave after the same repetitive days, like coming home after working hard all day to the nagging, complaining, moaning, and griping. This in the ear as soon as they walk in the door. And sometimes you hear these women say, I don't know what happened. He just changed. Or maybe he just adjusted to the way that you've been treating him. And some of you I know are going to say, well, it sounds like he just can't handle a strong woman. Then, no, I'm pretty sure he can handle a strong woman. He doesn't want to handle a disrespectful one. So when your husband gets home from work, hug him, tell him you love him, how much you appreciate him, how much you're thankful for the hard work that he does to provide for your family, because I'm telling you, you do not want to be on the other side of this fence.
Men are competitive. Men play for points. They're about team. And when he feels disrespected, he feels like he's failing. He feels like he's not winning. And most men will gravitate to things, places where they feel honored, where they feel respected, where they feel like they're winning. So if he can never be a winner at home with his wife, No matter what he does, he's being criticized, which is disrespectful. He's being interrupted, which is disrespectful. You're never happy, which is actually disrespectful to him. He feels like he's losing. He feels like it's a failure, and he will gravitate toward other things. And I'm not saying that to scare you. It might not be toward another woman, but he might gravitate and spend more time at work, more time with his buddies, more time with the kids, more time with his hobbies, places he feels honored, respected, and where he can win.
You guys had a lot of thoughts on my video about why men are refusing to get married. One commenter said, making an investment with a 52% chance of failure that would continue to deplete your resources after said failure is a very bad investment. You don't have a 52% chance of failure. Depending on your level of education, your age when you get married, and some other factors, your chance for divorce goes down pretty dramatically. One person commented, the truth is that women's status, independence, and wages have increased dramatically, but divorce laws are still stuck in the 1950s. That's not untrue. When divorce laws, especially in Utah, were made, there were a lot of protections for women because gender roles in marriage were very different. We don't see that as much anymore. We do still see it. Utah has a higher percentage of stay-at-home moms, which is why Utah will probably always have alimony, but that's not untrue, and maybe we need to update some of the ways that we divide and talk about property. A lot of people said that it's a lot of risk for little benefit. I don't think a lot of people know the risks, like actually know what the risks are, but also I don't think you know necessarily the benefits. There are tax benefits to being married, insurance, there are legal protections for if you have kids. A commenter on here said that no marriage equals no kids equals no child support. You can still have child support if you have a child when you're not married. I did appreciate everyone's comments, and I really think that we should keep up this conversation around marriage.
Y'all have been begging me to talk about this topic, and today is your lucky day. Let's call out some homophobic, shall we?
I am treading dangerous waters by saying this, but I think that a lot of you women's obsession with trying to find the smallest thing to call a man over is because y'all have a indirect kink for men.
I agree with this point on so many levels, I don't even know where to start. Let's start off with the ones that are attracted to the bad boy, YN, gangster, scammer, whatever. Those men are typically men that were raised by their mamas. So they have all of this feminine energy. Any man that is willing to shoot somebody over stepping on their J's, that's a feminine man. That is a man who is letting himself be led by his emotions in the same way that women do. So a lot of the girls are attracted to that. On the other end of that, I think they're attracted to these men secretly because a lot of these men in Hollywood are men. And these are the men that they love, idolize. I remember being a child and seeing the girls fan out over Trey Songz. And I was like, that's a man. And they were like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Yes, he is. August Alsina. I'll even say Chris Brown, and I don't care. Who want to fight me in the comments? These are men that y'all are lusting after. They've always been men. If the Diddy documentary told you nothing, these are men. Y'all like men. So although it's really trendy right now to be calling all these men sassy and gay and all that stuff, really, y'all like that. Y'all have always liked that. And I secretly think you also like women, but we don't even have to go there.
Doesn't mean every woman wants a billionaire, or that every woman always dates upwards on every single characteristic. It describes average preferences and patterns. But is there little to no data showing women place greater importance on a partner's resources or status? No, there is actually plenty.
Weird, I just made a video about this. Looks like Ilias copying me. So does hypergamy exist or not? It's not the question. It's do you participate in hypergamy, yes or no? Statistically, it does appear that we can observe data that would reflect upon the definition of hypergamy. So it's just a matter of, are you participating in it or not? Of course, some women will date completely based off of other things like values, personality, maybe even just looks, or other things like that, things you have in common with this person. So if you are that person, it's not like, well, that's not true because of me. And it's like, every argument we gotta do this? Also, saying hypergamy is a social construct, you're not disproving something, you know what I mean? Social constructs are real. What I mean is, like, if a woman dates based off of a social construct, right? 10 years down the line, you have, like, kids and you're married. That's, like, real life. You're not saying, oh, well, that's fake. I don't know what's more real than that, actually. Just because hypergamy exists doesn't mean you're cooked, though, and it doesn't mean you have to participate. It's called free will, brother. Thought we wouldn't notice.
The delusion of the average woman has been culturally reinforced in a number of ways over the past 20 years. All of the most popular content geared toward women that has been produced in the last 2 decades reinforces this delusion. You see it in the Twilight series. You see it in the 50 Shades of Grey series and many, many others. The formula for all of these narratives is functionally the same. A rather normal and unassuming woman, against all reason or expectation and through no real effort of her own, becomes the object of a handsome, wealthy, powerful, emotionally mysterious man's intense obsessive desire. He is everything a woman could possibly want, and he not only simply lays it at her feet, he practically begs her to take it from him. For some reason, this top 0.00001% of a man has decided to forego all of the options that would be available to him and to focus exclusively on this average woman. And of course, this averageness is by design. The protagonist kind of has to be average so that the consumer, who is also average, can more easily project her identity onto the character and experience the fantasy.
The guy's right. Start choosing these women that want you, man. There are a lot of pretty women out here that got some common sense. They're not going to be perfect, but they'll work with you. I think honestly and truly, this is why you have a segment of men that are passport pros, because they just decide, exactly that. I'm going to choose a woman that works with me. But of course, when they do that, they get told that they're trying to go out there. They get told that they're trying to go out there and manipulate women. They're trying to go on sex tourism or whatever. They're trying to take advantage of these women. They're narcissists. Anything and everything that you can think of.
97% of women that go to college are not wifeable. And before you get emotional, studies have shown college-educated women are significantly more likely to delay marriage and prioritize career over family compared to previous generations. Going to college means spending 4 years conditioning women to be workers, to show up, follow instructions, climb the ladder. But by the time she graduates, she's perfectly trained to listen to her male boss more than her own man at home. Within those 4 years, women are placed into environments that normalize hookup culture, drinking, partying, hyper-independence, the whole I never need a man mindset, and also just the feminism that her college friends operate from. And because women are highly influenced by their environment, both emotionally and socially, most women unfortunately become products and conditioning of that culture without even realizing it. Not every woman, but 97% of women do, because a woman's natural instinct is to follow. And that natural follower instinct for women isn't a bad thing if they actually follow the right things. And let's be honest, it's hard to beat 4 years of indoctrination. That's why finding a feminine, family-oriented, disciplined woman today feels really rare. But don't worry, they're out there, but she just probably won't have a degree. And make sure to follow for more common sense content.
Can I find a man that will plan a whole date night for us, pick me up with a beautiful bouquet of roses from the flower shop, open my car door, not try to kiss me on the first date? Just weird.
That's a boyfriend. Unfortunately, because a lot of men out there have been used and taken advantage of, they don't want to do this. They don't want to try this. Because for a lot of men, they put in all that effort and they end up just being ghosted. Women aren't genuinely interested in them. So for a lot of men, they reserve that for their girlfriends. And yeah, you would have to kiss them and it wouldn't be the first date anymore, but...
Gen Z is dating significantly less than other generations. What has changed?
I ask a question in all my audiences at this moment. Did you grow up playing freely on the street? If you don't play freely on the street, you basically are missing out on an entire ground for social negotiation, where you learn to play together, to make rules, to break rules, to have wars, to make peace, to create alliances. If you don't practice those muscles, where you come up to strangers and you ask them to play with you, and then you meet somebody else, and then you join people together, you really are practicing relationships. All of that precedes dating. If you don't have that, then dating becomes the first time that you have to actually learn to speak to someone. God forbid if it's even in person, and look into their eyes and look at their body, because so much of our life at this point is completely disembodied. Dating becomes this Olympus that you have to climb, this whole mountain, and it's very anxiety provoking. What a waste, what a pity.
Unpopular opinion, but being a man in today's world might actually be one of the hardest jobs on the planet. And here's why. So check this out. Women say they want sensitivity, but not too much sensitivity. Share your emotions, but don't you dare share too many or suddenly you are weak. They say be a good leader, but in the same breath, I'm not following you anywhere because I'm Miss Independent. How does that even work? They want strength with just the right amount of vulnerability, honesty, but not so honest that it points out their flaws, because then you are the bad guy. They expect you to read their mind, but if you assume what they're thinking, you're wrong. Be financially stable, but also have endless free time to give all your attention to me, because doesn't financial stability take time to build? When you hear these requests out loud, you realize how much they contradict each other. Sounds confusing, right? But imagine being the man who's expected to figure all of this out. So here's the question. Do men really have it easier? Or are we just not being honest about how impossible these expectations really are? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I know this one is going to spark a debate. Men don't just leave for a younger woman. They leave for a softer one with softer feminine energy. A man can watch you age in his arms and still want you like day one unless you that vibe. Brutal truth is that desire does not from a little bit of stretch marks or gray hair. It dies from the eye rolls. It dies when every sentence starts with a correction or when you talk to him like he is incompetent. Also, when you compete with him instead of receive. Nothing turns a man off faster than constant criticism that you call advice, mothering him instead of admiring him, speaking to him with contempt instead of warmth, acting like his presence is a burden and not a gift. Men don't need you to worship them. They need you just to respect them. Respect goes a long way. One soft, I'm proud of you, honey, hits way harder than a week of wild. Porn stars won't save it if the energy is hostile and cold. He wants you to want him, to look at him like he's your man, not your opponent. He will stay obsessed with you if you make him feel 10 feet tall, even if she's 55 plus with laugh lines, gray hair, and a softer body than the day that they met. They won't care about any of that. Male desire doesn't when her body changes. It dies when her feminine energy does. When she trades that feminine energy for resentment energy. The body he fell in love with is still there. The woman who made him feel like a king isn't. Men don't fall out of love with you. They fall out of love with who you have turned into. Bring back the warmth or watch him look for it somewhere else. Save this before your man sees it on somebody else's page.
And another reason is so many single dudes out here now too is because dudes are starting to realize like, like it's not much in it for me. And once dudes started realizing that like it's not much in it for them compared to like what they gotta put out compared to what they're getting back, they just like, nah, like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna entertain it. And once a lot of dudes stopped doing certain things for women where it was like it wasn't too much in it for them, they wasn't getting like really no benefits from it, that's when women started saying like, who gonna be the boys? And men used to go to war and all this type of stuff, you know, like, yeah, like it's a different time period now. And like for the dudes thinking like that, they just became more selective. Like it's not even about not wanting to be in a relationship and stuff. It's like you just become more selective now on who you spending your time on and who you dealing with, you know. And that's another reason why too, like making pandering content is working so well, because there's so many dudes now where they're starting to come to the realization that a lot of stuff in relationships just isn't beneficial. The dudes that pander so much, it left that room to pander to women now, and they could just build an entire following and a cult behind that. But regardless, when it comes to like dating and relationships and shit, like it's still subjective to each person, you know. Like someone else might have better opportunities when it comes to dating and finding better men or better women, you know, but it's all subjective in the end.
One summer, like, I got really and there was just a group of like 5 guys and a train happened, but like it wasn't anything crazy. 5 isn't even that much, bro.
5 isn't that much?
5 isn't even that much. It's not that much. It's not that much.
Are you serious?
If I would have went to 6, that would have been crazy. But I only went to 5.
Yo, where is your...
It was like 2 summers ago. It was nothing, bro. Next summer, I'm gonna up it to 6. Maybe this summer.
You want me to do what? Okay, I'm coming. Love you, bye. She's such a yes puppy to her husband.
Have those on my desk by 5 p.m.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
File those taxes or go to jail.
Okay, yes, whatever you say.
Ma'am, stop speeding.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Here, take these meds.
Sure thing, anytime. Yeah.
Bow to me.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
Absolutely not wearing that out tonight.
Okay,
I'll go change.
Submit to my husband.
And don't invite me to no more baby showers unless you done already invited me to a wedding. Because what are we celebrating? A broken home? I'm not doing it with y'all next year. You standing up in a picture looking like a fool. Nobody know where the baby daddy at. Husband, baby. It better be in that order. If that ain't it, I'm going to tell you in advance, I'm already busy. And I'm giving you a 2-kid maximum.
You could only pick 2 in a man out of these 8 traits. What 2 would you pick?
Okay. Protective and loyal.
Why protective and loyal?
Because I'm a woman and I need a man. Very man. Protective.
So you would pass up on tall, attractive,
Yeah, totally.
wealthy?
I love mental, of course, but it's not the most important things. Your face and your physical or your money, for me, is not very important. I see your soul.
People like to talk about this graph, hypergamy. Women have it easier because they get to date up. Is this actually the case though? Because I think this graph is misleading and below average looking women have it harder than below average looking men. Yes, the women still have way more options at this level compared to the men, but the way they're treated in that relationship is terrible. Oftentimes they're not even dating that guy, they're just hooking up with them, and then after the hookup occurs, they'll get treated terribly due to post-nut clarity. People don't understand that women crave emotional intimacy more on average, and this graph is only referring to the sexual intimacy, which is what men want more, which is why it's focused on.
And you know, I know we talk about conditioning, and the woman was saying 97% of women with degrees are not wifeable, right? I think it's the also, you know, could go get your education, do whatever you want, right? But I think it's the delay. Once again, we have to go back to the saying, the early bird gets the worm. So if you have a woman that might be, and I'm not saying that you should do this just because, you know, you can, well, I'm 22 or I'm 18, fresh out of college or fresh out of high school, you know, we're going to go ahead and get married. They used to, right? But then you're still growing and in a lot of ways, you don't really know yourself, which once again, you can work through that, but you got to be in the same headspace, even as you're growing, because both of y'all will grow and you'll have differences, stark differences, right? But if you have the commitment there and you made the promise, you took vows, then y'all have to figure out a way to work through that to where it's going to work for the both of you, right? But you know, I feel like there's a certain phase to where you are figuring yourself out. And then you say, okay, right around this time, I probably need to be looking. Okay. And I don't want to say men are going to be on sale or clearance or whatever, but I just mean to say you have an opportunity. And I think a lot of men have talked about this. When you're around this age, you're going to have a lot of opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity. When you have the most men, see if you can find somebody. You don't have to force it, but a lot of these ladies are not even looking. They look, I want to go. They're going hard after an internship. They're going hard out there to party and just, well, I'm just living life. Great, go live your life. But what does your future look like? What is it? What is your long-term goal? Do you want to be married? Do you want to have kids? Oh no, I'm just living in the moment. That's going to get you in trouble. Delay, 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 delay. And then when you delayed so much and now you're 38 talking about, I might have to freeze my eggs. I didn't think that I would ever get here. And then you're 41, 42, crying because you still, when is God going to send me a man? Well, you didn't look for a whole 10 years. Some of you didn't even look for a whole 15. And then you got the women talk about, I waited until I was 35, got married. Just keep on waiting. It's not going to be an option for some of these ladies at all. You're telling them the wrong thing. You essentially telling them, don't worry about it. When a man comes by, he's a good man. You don't even worry about it. Just continue to do this. He'll always be there. If he's a good man, he won't. That man didn't fool around and already got married. Oh, well, you just settled. No, I didn't. I'm 5 years into my relationship. I got kids. It's hard. It's tough. We're doing whatever we need to, but we're on the same page and we're going in the same direction. That's what you don't understand. There's plenty of women out here. Number one, plenty of pretty, beautiful women. Plenty of women out here that will say, okay, you're going in that direction. I'm going with you. And y'all be out here talking about it was the vibe. It was the spark. He ain't the one. The one. You better find you the one. Y'all better get serious about finding the one. Because if we get on the same page, you want to be my partner? Yes, I do. Okay, let's get it. And then you fool around crying. I remember one woman in a clip sitting around talking with her friends on a podcast, said something to the effect of, this guy that I kept on putting off, and I think she said high school, and I can't remember if she said college. I kept on putting him off. That man fooled around, left me alone, and he's just gotten hotter and hotter and better looking. And, here I am, lonely, alone, honestly and truly wishing that I had entertained him. But I can't now because that man's got a family. Bingo. Bingo. Delay means you out there playing around. Delay, so I can play.
Fellas, I'ma need you to stop dealing with women that do not compliment you as a man. That's first and foremost. Any woman that feels like she needs to raise her voice to get her point across, disrespect you, is not your woman. She is nothing more than a liability to you as a man. And that's up to you to see that. That type of woman does not fear losing you. She doesn't value you as a person. She doesn't value your presence. She not gonna value your absence. She should be exclusively yours. Not entertaining no other man, not texting, not calling no ex. No man should have access to her. If that's the case, that's not your woman. She shouldn't be breathing down no other man neck but yours. Woman that is correcting you in public is not your woman. The woman you want by your side, she's either gonna build you up or tear you down. She should be able to add what you already bring to the table. Please stop holding on to women that unvalues you, that does not appreciate you.
You need to leave.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you need to leave.
Why?
I'm trespassing you from my studio. Kindly leave.
Bitch, you think I want to stay on this shit for 6 hours? If you tell me to leave one more time, my raccoon will bite you.
Can you just leave? I get that you're trying to troll, but can you please? I have revoked your permission to be here.
Okay.
You are now trespassing.
Okay.
Can you kindly get up and leave?
Wait, but I don't want to go yet.
I mean, she's refusing to leave. I'm asking you to leave. I need you to get up and leave.
If they call the police, you will be arrested.
Look,
No one's gonna arrest me for this.
Yes,
you're trespassing.
I have revoked your permission to be here. You are now trespassing. So I'm asking you to just get up and leave.
Yeah, the other thing is you're not really a very good troll. You kind of suck at it. And you're doing pretty favor.
Now you're legally not allowed to be here. I have just trespassed you from my property. So I'm asking you kindly to leave.
Okay.
Brad, I'm gonna call the cops. Yeah. Can somebody call the police?
Women are always told to choose better men, like it's their problem, the men are bad.
How about taking that dreaded first step towards some personal accountability and realize that a lot of women, in fact, do need to choose better? Because a lot of times, some women tend to choose the same types of men that have the same bad characteristics over and over again and decide that it's all men that share those characteristics.
The men are never told to be better men.
Has someone not been paying attention? Because there are multitudes of individuals out there telling men every single day that they need to be better. But I guess someone must have missed that.
It's much easier for a man to choose to be better than a woman to choose better, because a lot of these men are wolves in sheep's clothing.
Really? Exactly how difficult is it for some women out there to actually understand the characteristics that make a good man as opposed to just an attractive man? Because a lot of women will simply date on what they find attractive versus what should be considered for a relationship. And that's the main problem there.
I have a TikTok going a little viral right now because it ended up triggering a whole group of women. Essentially what I said is that there are women that will leave their marriage simply because she isn't happy. Yet men will tolerate years of disrespect in order to maintain the commitment that he made to that marriage. For those of you that get it, you either one, have experienced this yourself, or you've witnessed very closely somebody that has gone through it.
Two, you understand that this is not always the case across the board, but you understand that it does happen, so it can be validating to those that have experienced it. Number three, somewhere in the last 5 videos that you just swiped up on, you saw a video that a man was being blamed for whatever it was in the relationship, that it was his fault. At least one of them is giving a woman's perspective on relationships or dating. And lastly, 4, how many videos do you see out there where a woman is getting a divorce or she's thinking about getting a divorce simply because she's not happy? It's happening, ladies. It's happening.
Listen, women don't fall for bad men because they are broken. They fall for them because bad men are the most interesting thing in the room, and nobody wants to admit that. I had a type, beard, long hair, that looked that said, I have depth, but I will never explain it to you. Interesting, mysterious, completely useless. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Good men felt boring to me. Consistent men felt suffocating. A man who actually called when he said he would, I found 0 reasons to think about him at 2 a.m. But the one who didn't lived rent-free in my head permanently. That's the trap nobody talks about. Bad men are interesting because they are unpredictable and your brain cannot let go of unsolved puzzle. He wasn't special. He was just unfinished. And you were addicted to the story you were writing about him in your head. The day I understood that, I stopped blaming him entirely, because the real question was never, why is he like this? It was, why do I find this so fascinating? Answer that and you will never fall for it again. That's the only way out. Not healing, not closure. Just radical honesty about what you actually find attractive and why.
The best way to not upset a woman is don't tell her anything you think will upset her. Just don't tell her. But then you get accused of lying and concealing. And so you can't trust men to tell the truth because you guys are smarter than women think you are. A woman is like, tell me the truth. And then you tell them a truth and they don't like that truth. And they get really upset about that truth. And as a woman, because we're motivated to not upset people, they actually think that if you know how upset I am about what's true for you, you will change what's true for you. They really think that. But you guys are smarter than that because it's been true for you for a long time. And there were no problems until you told her.
Yeah, easy correlation. I told you, now there's problem.
Now there's a problem. There was no problem before I was out loud about it. There's no problem at all. And really, honest men just stop telling the truth because it's not worth it.
Men, when you're seeing a woman or dating a woman and she says she has guy friends, you need to shut that down and run. Let me tell you something about the friend zone guys. Women that have guy friends that are in the friend zone, they're only there because they're on standby. They're not capable of going out and getting a woman like that on their own. So they sit around, wait around until the opportunity presents itself, and then they fall into place. They're beta, okay? That's the worst scenario you can have. Ladies, you have guy friends, you're gonna have a hard time in relationships. It's not that men are jealous, because if my girl steps out on me, then I'm gonna shake the dude's hand and say he did a better job than me, but I don't deserve that. Also, he saved me the drama. But if you got, ladies, if you got guy friends, you're wrong. That's the guy you should be with. When I was single, and go, oh, we can be friends. I don't want to be friends with you and hang out. There's no value for me to be friends with you and hang out. Here's where I am in life. Successful financially, I invest in startups. What value are you bringing to the table and why am I hanging out with you?
The men in NHL that leave their hockey sticks on the ice when they break it, those are the men that ask women to clean up after them. And
the reaching that some of y'all do really needs to be studied, because a professional hockey player dropping his stick on the ice has absolutely nothing to do with women. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's look it up. I took the liberty of going to ChatGPT, and this is what it said. In the NHL, when a player's stick breaks, they'll often just drop it on the ice immediately instead of picking it up. Here's why. Number one, safety first. A broken stick can be dangerous. Sharp edges can cut someone. It can trip players skating at high speed. Leaving it flat on the ice is actually safer than carrying it around. Number two, speed of the game. Hockey moves fast. If a player tried to skate to the bench while holding a broken stick, carrying it around, they'd slow down and hurt their team defensively. Dropping it lets them either grab a new stick quickly or stay in position without fumbling. Number three, teammates or refs handle it. Once it's on the ice, a referee or linesman will usually kick it out of the way or remove it. Sometimes a teammate skating by will move it too. 4 rules plus advantage. Players are allowed to drop broken equipment, but not to throw it or use it illegally. The goal is to not gain an unfair advantage or create chaos. See what I mean? They just get on here and say anything, absolutely anything. As long it paints men out to be something that they are not, they will say it. All it took was a quick Google search. That's all it was. ChatGPT, Google, Ask Jeeves, they would have all told you the same thing, but no. Let me make some content hating men, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Boy, I tell you, some of y'all really need to be studied when all this is said and done. But I know she ain't gonna listen to shit I just said, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
This is a public service announcement for white men. It is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
That part. Yep.
It is okay to like a Latina. We are equals. We are pretty people. We are also equal to the blondes at the bar.
Even better.
Even better, maybe. I don't wanna, perhaps.
Don't quote me on it, but.
Please, it is okay to approach a Latina at the bar. It is okay.
We will talk to you.
We will talk to you. It is okay. I promise. It is okay. Please approach us. We are all one. We are begging.
We're begging.
We're on our hands and knees. Please approach us.
I'm on my knees.
Like, what the fuck?
And a woman was talking about quit holding on to women that don't appreciate you. And she's correct. She's definitely correct. A lot of these modern women out here, they don't care nothing about you. And men are realizing that. They're stepping back and they're saying, you know what? I really wanted this to work. There's a lot of modern women say, oh, men don't court anymore. Men put out a lot of money, and maybe you're not reading the signs. They put out a lot of time, a lot of attention, a lot of effort, and they get nothing in return. And they say, well, how do I know which guy is a good guy and which guy is a terrible guy? Men will tell you that, but you don't listen because you want what you want and you keep on entertaining the bad guy. And so a lot of these good men are stepping back and just watching you fall flat on your face. Well, how come you don't help me? Because I tried. Literally for years, I tried and you didn't want to hear it.